Let me tell you something real. You never know how or when your life will touch someone else. Sometimes it's not the big speech, not the movie, not the award, but a single action, a single word that changes someone's path. Back in the early 1980s, when I got my first real break in St. Elsewhere, I didn't realize people were watching how I carried myself, on and off screen. Every choice I made mattered, not just for me, but for those coming behind me. See, your dreams are your responsibility. Nobody's going to carry them for you. You can't sit around waiting for someone to hand you success. I had to work for it. Every role, every audition, every sleepless night. My responsibility wasn't just to chase fame, but to honor the gifts God gave me. And once you recognize those gifts, you've got a duty to pass them on, to teach, to inspire, to lift others. That's how the cycle continues. And through all of it, one person never gave up on me. My mother. She believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. She saw something in that kid from Mount Vernon that I couldn't see yet. Her faith carried me when mine was running low. Every time I fell, she said, "Get up. You're not done yet." That voice still echoes in my heart. People often think fame and money solve everything, but trust me, we all have our individual challenges. Money doesn't make them better. Fame just puts them under a spotlight. It's easy to lose yourself when the whole world is watching. So, what really matters? It's not the trophies or the red carpets. It's how well you help others, how much you contribute to improving someone's life. That's what gives your success meaning. Because at the end of the day, legacy isn't about what you have. It's about what you give. You know, people ask me all the time, "Denzel, what does success mean to you?" And I always pause for a second. Because honestly, I don't even know what that word truly means. Success? That depends on who you ask. For some, it's money. For others, it's fame. Waking up with gratitude, doing what I love, being there for my family, that's success. That's inner peace. When I lay my head down at night and my soul is quiet, that's a good day for me. But I didn't always think like that. In the late 80s and early 90s, I was learning fast that Hollywood could either build you up or break you down. When I did Glory, Malcolm X, Philadelphia, every one of those roles taught me something deeper about who I was and what I stood for. I learned that to grow, you have to think beyond the box that people try to keep you in. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big, to take that chance even when everyone else says you can't. Because the truth is, it's not just the roles or awards that define your life. It's the people you meet, the ones you love, the moments that test your faith, and the chances you take when the outcome is uncertain. Those are the things that shape your story. That's what defines you. And through it all, I learned something else. If you don't trust the pilot in life, that means trust God, trust your instincts, and trust your preparation. Don't let fear drive your choices. I thank God every day, not just for what I already have, but for what's already mine in the future. Gratitude is powerful. It attracts blessings you can't even see yet. You know, life has a funny way of showing you your purpose when you least expect it. I've learned that you never really know how you're going to affect people. Sometimes it's not the speeches, not the big moments, but the quiet ones, the unseen ones that touch someone's heart. Maybe it's a line from a movie, a small act of kindness, or even just being real in a world that rewards pretending. When I started acting, I didn't just want to play characters. I wanted to be honest in every role. Whether it was Malcolm X, Training Day, or The Hurricane, I brought pieces of myself into every story. And that's because in this world, you have to be who you are, no matter what. People will try to define you, shape you, box you in, but your truth, and I'll tell you this, hate will break you down faster than failure ever could. Hatred, whether for yourself or others, it's a prison you build from the inside. But love sets you free. Love for your craft, your people, your faith. That's what keeps you moving even when the world feels cold. I also found something powerful in words. See, writing, that's a weapon. A weapon that can heal, that can inspire, that can last longer than any fight ever will. That's why I've always believed in using my platform to say something real, to make people think, to move them closer to their best selves. But I've learned one more truth. Be careful what you ask for. You'd better be ready for the mud too. Success comes with struggle. Blessings come with responsibility. You can't separate the two. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Don't just aspire to make a living, aspire to make a difference. When I was a young man trying to figure out my place in the world, I didn't see myself as a movie star or a celebrity. I just wanted to do something that mattered. I wanted my work, my words, my life to mean something beyond myself. See, I wasn't born into fame or fortune. I worked in a factory. I was a garbage man. I worked in a post office. Those weren't glamorous jobs, but they taught me something priceless. Humility, hard work, and gratitude. Those days reminded me that every role, no matter how small, shapes who you become. I like to think I'm still that same regular guy, the one who just decided to keep going, to keep believing. My mother, she played a big part in that. She used to send me to school in a tie. Not because we were rich, far from it, but because she wanted me to understand something. How you present yourself to the world matters. She believed in me long before I believed in myself. She used to tell me, Denzel, you're going to do something special one day. And when someone loves you that much, you start to see what's possible. I never really had what people call the classic struggle. I didn't fight the streets or lose my way completely. Because I had faith. That was my anchor. I read the Bible every day. Still do. It keeps me grounded when the noise of the world gets too loud. It reminds me who I am. So when I look back, I realize every step, every job, every test of faith was preparing me for something greater. It wasn't about chasing success. It was about living with purpose. And that's what I want you to take with you. Don't just chase a paycheck, chase your purpose. Because when you live to make a difference, that's when you truly start living. You know, I've learned that life will test you over and over again. It's not about if you fall, it's about when, because you will. We all do. But the key, keep working, keep striving, never give up. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Every time I got knocked down, every rejection, every missed roll, every door that closed in my face, I got up, brushed off the dust, and went right back at it. Because that's what life demands of you. There were moments I thought maybe this path wasn't for me. Times when I felt like giving up. But you'll lose people, you'll lose things, and you'll still have to stand tall and finish what you started. That's how you build strength. Not from comfort, but from endurance. When I was coming up in the late 70s and early 80s, I wasn't the Denzel people know today. I was just another hungry actor trying to prove I belonged in a business that didn't make room for people like me easily. And through it all, I learned something important. Don't be afraid to go outside the box. The roles that scared me, the risks that made me doubt myself, those were the ones that changed everything. Growth doesn't happen in safety. It happens when you dare to step beyond the familiar. But through every hardship, you have to hold a vision of yourself. You have to believe in the version of you that no one else can see yet. That's faith. That's power. And that's what kept me going when the lights were dim, when the world said no. See, when you come through hardships, they don't break you, they build you. They sharpen your character, your focus, your purpose. Life will test you. That's a promise. And if you think the road to success is supposed to be smooth, you're fooling yourself. I've learned that life is full of challenges, and those struggles, they're not there to stop you. They're there to shape you. Every closed door, every lost role, every time someone doubted me, all of that was preparing me for something bigger. You can't appreciate the light until you've walked through the dark. When I started getting attention in Hollywood, people thought success meant red carpets and big paychecks. But that's not it. True success isn't about money. It's about having a positive impact on the world. You can have a bank full of cash and still feel empty. What fills you is knowing you made a difference, knowing you used your platform to lift someone else higher. And trust me, I never tried to blend in. You're not supposed to fit in, you're supposed to stand out. From St. Elsewhere to Glory and Malcolm X, I didn't chase roles that made me comfortable. I chased the ones that made me think, the ones that scared me. Because that's where you grow. Don't live your life trying to be what someone else expects you to be. Find your own voice. The world will always try to label you, box you, tell you who you should be, but you've got to know who you are before the world does, or it'll decide for you. At the end of the day, your legacy won't be written in dollars. It'll be written in people. Your legacy will be defined by the lives you've touched, the hearts you've moved, and the hope you've sparked in others. So don't run from your struggles. Stand tall in them, because your pain is part of your purpose, and your story might be the reason someone else doesn't give up. Dreams, everybody's got them. But let me tell you something real. Dreams without goals are just dreams. They stay up there, floating in your imagination, and they eventually fuel disappointment. When I was just starting out, I dreamed of acting, but dreaming alone didn't get me on that stage. It was the goals, the daily grind, the late night rehearsals, the constant rejection, and the choice to keep going that turned those dreams into something real. I remember one of my first auditions. That's right, fail big. Because failure means you're trying, and trying means you're moving. Each time I fell, I got back up stronger. Today is the beginning of the rest of your life. Don't wait for it to be perfect. It never will be. You don't need the perfect script, the perfect timing, or the perfect plan. You just need to start. In Hollywood, I saw too many people wait for the right opportunity. But life doesn't hand you right moments. You create them. I worked like I didn't need the money because for me, it was never about the paycheck. It was about purpose. I loved what I did, even when no one was watching. And love, real love, that's what fuels everything. Love like you've never been hurt, because that's how you keep your heart alive in a world that will try to harden it. Every morning I wake up, I thank God for what's already mine. Not just success or recognition, but health, peace, and another chance to do better than yesterday. Gratitude keeps you grounded when fame tries to lift you too high. You see, through every movie, every setback, every standing ovation, I learned that life is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about living with faith, working with passion, and moving forward with purpose. So if you've got a dream, start now. Don't wait for perfect. Fail big, love strong, and thank God every single day. Because the rest of your life starts right now. If you felt that, hit subscribe, like, and share this message. Someone out there needs this reminder today that faith, gratitude, and bold action can turn any dream into destiny.